What is up, backyard bassing fans? All right, guys, just giving you a little heads up. This one's going to be a little lengthy, but we're going to go over the pre-spawn and the spawn. I know we're not quite there yet, but there's a couple guys in the south that I know they're pushing. I know down in Florida they're already on their spawn, but let's just say like Georgia, Alabama, stuff like that, and they're already starting their pre-spawn, if not just a little bit farther. They've had pretty decent weather down there. Here in the Midwest, I've got 9 degrees yesterday. I think it's supposed to get up to like 45 today. Hopefully to melt the ice off the lakes and the ponds, but if I can get out there fishing. But like I said, we're gonna jump into it. I'm gonna go over a few baits of what I target, what I use, and then I'm actually gonna flip the camera around and we're gonna look at the screen, and I'm actually gonna show you guys where I fish and where fish will set up and what you guys can look for. So let's get into this. We'll start off way out off the deep end. All right, guys. So hopefully the screen works out for you. I'm hoping you can see everything on here, but just kind of want to go through here a little bit and show you exactly what I look for when I'm going to go to the lake or whatever I'm going to fish. One thing in particular that you really want to look for is going to be channels. Usually if you're going on a bigger lake that's a little bit deeper, you're going to have creek channels that run into arms and run back into coves and stuff like that. And that's one thing that you really want to key in on. So, okay guys, so if you see, let me get a pin here so I can show you a little bit easier. So if you see over here, this is a main lake point right here. All right guys, that's where your fish, they're gonna be out here on the main lake, all winter long. And when that pre-spawn comes up, the first thing they're gonna do is move up to these points. So they're gonna look for these points like this, that have like a channel coming through here, so they've still got deep water they can get access to. Now, the one thing I will tell you that I use, and this is pretty much every year that works very, very, very well, is gonna be the football head. The reason I like using the football head is because you can come out here and you can see where this channel comes in through here along this point. It's got real good deep water by it. So what I'll do is I'll throw it up by this point and I will drag it back out to that channel. Once you drag it back out to that channel, them fish are going to be sitting in that channel. If you get a little bit warmer days, the sun's shining really bright, you'll get your bass, they'll start coming up to, to a little bit shallower water. They won't stay there very long, just long enough to feed, and then they're going to come back down to that deeper water. Now, these fish are constantly going to stay where this channel's at. You can see this channel runs all the way up into here. So they're constantly going to be in there. This is another good time that I'm going to be throwing that rattle trap. That rattle trap works really well. Another thing that works really well is going to be the Alabama rig. The Alabama rig works really well for out in that deeper water. Once you get a little farther along, these fish are going to start looking at these little coves or these little cuts in here that have real shallow water. That's eventually where they're wanting to go. Typically you're going to look for a lot of rock. They like rock, that's what they're going to spawn in. But you can see right here, this channel swing comes all the way up here and then makes a loop this way and comes back. But right here, that's a very, very good spawning flat right here. You can see it's got deep water right here, but it goes back into that flat. This is just my opinion. I've had better luck. Instead of going to these small pockets like this that come up to a spawning flat, I actually like to go all the way in the back of these coves to where it's a real big flat. I've had a lot better luck there. There will be fish in here, I can guarantee you that, but the majority of them are going to be going back this whole channel, and they're going to go back all the way to this flat back here to where it's very, very shallow. That's typically what you're going to look for. But anyway, now that you kind of understand what we're looking at and what I'm explaining here, like I said, these fish are going to come through here. They're going to come from the main lake. They're going to follow this channel in. You know, that's guys, when you see these guys fishing in the middle of the coves and, you know, out in these, the mouths of these arms that come off, that's what they're targeting. They're actually targeting all of these channels. You know, that's a really good deal to target. One other thing you want to look for in channels is channel swings like this right here. You know, these fish are really going to set up in these channel swings. So that's another thing to really keep a good eye for. So I'm gonna turn this around here. So all right guys, so now that you've seen, you know, what that channel looks like and going back into that cove real far and that real shallow stuff, you know, that's what you really want to look for. You know, looking at that pre-spawn, going into that spawn. You know, like I said, I know we're not here in the Midwest, we're not here yet. We're probably a month and a half out, maybe a month before this typically really starts. Down south, they're probably already in the middle of moving through them channels and halfway up through those coves. But I just want to kind of show you guys a few baits that I typically go with. Like I said, the Alabama rig. When you're fishing out deep on them rock points, you know, that football jig, you cannot beat that thing. Another thing is like a swing head jig. Those work very, very well out there. But you do want to fish like I would say, I typically throw a half or 3/4. I know some guys even go up to a 1 ounce out there on the deeper points, you know, just so they can really feel that bottom when it's, you know, a little bit deeper water. So it's what you're comfortable with. The lighter you can get away with and feel everything, the better. But getting up into those channels, you know, going up into that shallower water and stuff like that, you know, typically, you know, this time of year, you know, you can't beat a spinnerbait. A spinnerbait is great. Fishing deeper water, you know, I'm going to go up to that half to that 3/4 ounce. You know, I want to get it down there. You know, I want to get in front of their face and feel everything down there. I don't want to sit there and wait for 2 minutes for a, you know, 1/4 or a 3/8 ounce swim or spinnerbait to drop all the way down to 20 foot. So I typically go a little bit heavier, like I said, the half or the 3/4. But that's a very good bait, you know, for the pre-spawn there. Like I said, fishing them channels. Once again, like I said, the rattle trap's a very, very good one to get down there. I like a lot of the red eye stuff, you know, but it's personal opinion when you get to a rattle trap. It's whatever you guys want. They work very well though. Now, getting farther along towards that spawn, like I said, those bass are really going to start moving back into the coves. They're going to get to those shallow flats. You know, they're going to start looking for places they want to make their beds. One thing that I like as a really good search bait is actually, it's two of them, but I know most of you guys on here know I don't throw a chatterbait a whole lot, but this time of year, if I get a little bit muddier water, I'm throwing that chatterbait, guys. It's a great search bait. Really gets down in there. It's got a lot of vibration they pick up on, and the spinnerbait is another good one. Like I said, even up in that shallower water, these are two that I definitely are my go-tos. They work very, very well. The other thing that I throw a lot, and I mean a lot, is going to be that swim jig. That swim jig, just, I love that, the versatility of it and everything else. If you've got grass, you can swim it through grass. If you've got some docks that are coming out, you know, off these coves and stuff like that, you can fish around the docks with no problems. Just, that is an all-around great choice for the pre-spawn and into the spawn. Bass can't stand this thing coming up over their beds. I mean, they will nail it. They just think it's a small bluegill or shad or something like that getting closer to beds, and they'll munch it every time. So that's a very, very good one there. Another thing is, and a lot of guys I don't see throwing this too much in the, I'd say in the pre-spawn, but this is a killer bait, guys. That's square bill. You can throw that square bill up there and come through them shallows. You know, when them bass are up there and they're searching for places to make a bed, now you're going to get a ton of little bucks, I can tell you that. But that square bill gets hammered, guys. It's an all-around great bait. If your fish, like I said, if you get those days when that sun's shining, the water's really warming up quick, them fish are going to be up in that shallower area. They're looking for a place to make their beds. They're looking to feed. So if your water temperatures aren't quite there yet, they will be getting there. But I'm telling you, those bass will be up there to feed at certain points of the day. So that square bill is just killer this time of year, and a lot of people do not throw it this time of year. They wait just a little bit longer, and you know, it's a personal opinion, but I can tell you, I have a lot of luck on this thing in the pre-spawn. So, guys, like I said, it's kind of a quick explanation of what's going on with the fish and where they're going to be and where they're going to set up. I know there's a lot better videos out there that are a lot more detailed and everything else, but this is just kind of a quick overview of what's going to happen. There's a lot of younger guys out there that don't realize where them bass are, you know, in the winter. They don't understand that they're out there in that really deep water, and this is how they move up. So if you guys are out there, you have any questions or anything else, you know, let me know down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to talk to you one-on-one, you know, explain a little bit more in depth of what you need to know or what you're looking for. So I have no problem with that at all. But that's all I got for you guys today. We'll see you again next time. And if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and hit that notification bell. And we do a Monday night live stream every Monday night. It's either usually on my channel or my buddy's channel, the 10 Horse Monty, which I have all linked down in the description. But one way or another, we will be on Monday Night Live with some guests. So make sure you jump on there and watch that. It's got great information on it, and we will see you guys again next time. Thanks.